Danielle is in Biloxi, Mississippi. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I had a question. My husband and I have been married for 9 years, and we've handled our finances pretty terribly, and we've kind of been having a moment of reckoning. We've been looking into trying to start budgeting, but we've kind of gotten ourselves in such a bind that to start budgeting, we're not really sure how to. There's not a lot left out of each check to be able to put back. So
got a log jam.
How do we start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your household income?
It depends. He works a lot of overtime. He makes $28.10 an hour. So give or take, he brings home about $1,100-ish a week.
So he's making $50,000-$60,000 a year take home pay. So making $80,000. And you are at home with the kiddos?
Yes, sir. I have 3 little girls.
Okay. What age?
They're 8. My middle one will be 6 in about 3 weeks, and I have a 1-year-old.
And how much debt do you have, not counting your house?
Not counting our house, it's around $26,000, give or take.
On what?
That's vehicle included. A lot of credit card debt, and our vehicle, and 1 or 2 loans.
What do you owe on the car?
About $9,200-ish.
Other cars paid for?
No, sir. We owe about $9,000.
I said the other car is paid for?
Oh, yes, sir. My husband's little truck is paid for.
Okay, good.
And you said that he's been working quite a bit of overtime. How many hours has he been doing a week?
He's putting in around 60 plus hours a week.
Okay. So about 20 over. So does he seem pretty maxed out in his ability to work any extra?
Yeah, he's exhausted. I mean, he's still plugging along, but I don't know how to help. I want to know how to help him, and I can't go work outside of the home with 3 kids. By the time I don't really have any skills. We're Christians. We believe in the life staying home with the children, and so I don't really have any skills as far as the workforce. So, but even if I did find a job, all it would go to daycare. So it would be pointless.
Rent or own your home right now?
We're paying a mortgage right now.
Okay, and how much is that a month?
$975.
Okay.
All right, there's nothing in this math that you gave us that screams stupid. Okay?
Okay.
But what you're dying death by 1,000 cuts. It's a lot of little stuff.
Right.
Because sometimes when I talk to someone in your situation, they got a $32,000 car. Okay, and if you had a $32,000 car, that would scream stupid. Okay, and I'd be going, sell your stupid car. Okay, you have a $9,000 car. That's not crazy. It's we got to get rid of the debt. You can't breathe, and life's not good. I'm not discounting that situation, but I don't see a single item that if I pull that lever, it changes things quickly. You don't have a single item because you got a lot of little ones. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, sir.
So what that ends up telling me is a couple of things. One is the two of you resetting your minds and committing to, we are going to manage money instead of it managing us.
Yes, sir.
There's kind of a roar, like, ah! I am so freaking tired of this, that we are not going out to eat. We are not going on vacation. We are selling so much stuff the kids think they're next, and we're going to do a written budget, and we're going to stick to it. And we're not going to buy crap on the internet or crap at Costco or crap in the mall. And you kind of got to get mad. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, my husband's kind of reached that place. He is so tired of working so hard.
Yeah.
It's like there's
but you got to reach it. You got to reach it because you're the full-time home economist.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which means pinching these pennies, consignment sale clothes. Our kids at the Ramsey house grew up in experienced clothing, okay?
Right.
So, I mean, and then they went to college debt-free, okay? And now they're grown-ups, and none of them are in counseling due to the clothing that they didn't get. So,
Right.
So, I mean, the stuff that we all do in America, and Danielle, you are not doing anything dramatically stupid, but you're doing a lot of little tiny stupid things that are killing y'all.
Right. That's exactly right.
And that's going to be where you can give your husband a back rub by saying, I'm going to be the coupon queen. I'm going to cook from scratch and save money. I'm not going to whine about going out to eat or going on vacation or whatever. And we're going to start punching this stuff in the face, and I'm emotionally going to carry 60% of this this crusade that your family's getting ready to go on to get your life back.
Right.
Because your credit card debt was just when you got disorganized, sloppy, and lazy.
Yes, it was the worst thing we ever did was to get a credit card.
Yep, but I mean, it's just, you did not do a single thing with credit cards that was silly. You did lots of little things.
Right.
And by the way, that makes you kind of normal, but normal sucks. We don't want to be normal anymore. It's not fun.
Right.
All right.
No,
so
it's not.
then he's going to be more energized because he's going to start seeing traction from his hard work, and he can work 70 instead of 60. For a short period of time. Because right now he thinks he's going to have to do this his whole life, and I'm saying he's going to have to do this for 2 years. I can do anything for 2 years, but I can't do it for 20.
Right.
And so right now he feels like a rat in a wheel because he's working all the time and getting nowhere.
Right.
But if we're working all the time and we're making traction and we got rid of that credit card, then we got rid of that credit card, then we got rid of that credit card, and now we got the car off. And God, think about what it'd be like to have no payments but a house payment around your place.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, Lord Jesus, this would be fun. This would be good.
Well, and Danielle, if you want to work, if you want to contribute financially, I wouldn't write off your ability, to figure that out. There's a lot of moms who watch an extra kid or two in order to get a little extra income. So, I mean,
dog walk for the neighbor. I mean, and involve the kids in it. You can do all kinds of crap that's $20 and $30 an hour, and do 10 of those things a week, and never be away from your kids. You can do all that while they're at school. So you're perfect. We think people like you are awesome because you are ready. That's why I'm excited for you. That's where all this volume's coming from. So you hold on. We're going to put you through Financial Peace University, you and your husband. It's a 9-lesson class. You hang on. We're going to pay for it. And I want you to call me back, and when you're scared and when you're beat up and when you don't know what to do, we're going to cheer you on. And then when you finally make it, we're going to do a debt-free scream together.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel Cruz, your host for this episode of Dave Ramsey's Greatest Hits, where we are remembering the best of the last 10 years of The Ramsey Show on video. And in the words of Dave himself, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're going back to some unforgettable moments of tough love. To kick things off, let's find out why Dave thinks that some of you need to be in a panic right now. Check it out.
What type of account do you recommend for Baby Step 1's emergency fund? William says on Twitter. You can follow me there at Dave Ramsey, and anytime you'd like. The Baby Step 1 is $1,000 saved, William. It really doesn't matter what kind of account you put it in. It's not going to make any money. If there's no such thing as a 10% account on $1,000. I mean, you can put it in a money market if you want, and you're going to make 1%. And so we're talking about $10 a year. So I don't care if you even put it in an account, is my point. I don't care if you keep it in the sock drawer. I just want you to have $1,000 set aside that you don't touch for anything. Now, if you want to put it in an account, it'd just be a little money market type account at your local bank where you can get to it if you have an emergency. The downside of keeping it on the sock drawer is you might think the pizza man at the front door is an emergency, and he's not. So you need to be careful about how you define emergency. This is just to be used for emergencies. One lady took hers and put it into a frame. She bought a cheap frame down at Walmart and wrote across the bottom of the frame, in case of emergency, break glass. And then hung the $1,000 behind her coats in her closets. It's because, you're not going to make any money on it, William. It's there just to be used only for emergencies. only for emergencies. That's all it's for. And, your little $1,000 account, hopefully. Now, when you grow the account up in baby step 3 to a full 3 to 6 months of expenses, then I'm going to keep it in a money market account. Even at that point, you're not making any money. Let's say you've got $15,000 in there at 1%. It's $150. I mean, it's no money at all. You're not making any money on this account. So the emergency fund is not about making money. It's insurance to keep you from cashing out or going into debt, cashing out stuff you shouldn't have to cash out. And so insurance doesn't make you money. Insurance costs you money to protect things that make you money. And that's the best way to look at your emergency fund. It's not an investment. It's insurance. And that helps you if you do it that way. So when I finally got $1,000 and then I finally got $10,000 and it was all I had, I was all concerned that it needed to work really hard. And I started realizing that it's not going to work hard when it's in an emergency fund. And so then I wanted to start investing my emergency fund. Well, that's a dumb idea because by definition, an emergency fund needs to be easy to access, what we financial people call liquid. And so you have to set that aside. You just set this money aside and say, it's not the money that's going to make me money. It's the money that's going to protect the stuff that makes me money. I don't have to, I can, when you've got a big emergency fund, you can carry a higher deductible on your insurance, which causes you what? Have lower premiums. When you've got a bigger emergency fund, you don't have to tap out your 401k or borrow on your 401k if your car's transmission goes out. And so you get to leave alone the things that are making you money. And you get to decrease some of your costs like insurance and those kinds of things. You don't buy insurance on everything that turns around because you've got $15,000 or $20,000 set aside for your rainy day fund. One lady called it her GOK fund, my God only knows fund. And I don't care what you call it, but that's how you do it. So good question, William. I appreciate you bringing that up. So baby step 1 is $1,000 saved. 2 is pay off all your debts except your home using the debt snowball where you list your debts, smallest to largest, and pay them off in that order with great focused intensity. Once you're out of debt, then you go accept your home, then you go back to the $1,000 account in baby step 3 and raise it up to a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. You need to run like your hair's on fire until you get those 3 steps done. You need to be in a panic until you get those 3 steps done. Because if you have $15,000 or $10,000 or whatever 3 to 6 months of expenses in your life represents in cash in the bank, and you don't have any payments but a house payment, just think about your life right now. How would that feel? No payments but a house payment and $15,000 or $20,000 or $10,000 laying there. You're not even there yet, and you just started breathing better. Just thinking about it. You took a deep breath and a sigh. It's exactly what you did after I said that. When you don't have any payments but a house payment, and you have your emergency fund, that's a foundational place to begin to build wealth. That's a foundational place to begin to your level of outrageous generosity. But until you get there, you're just scrapping and clawing like a rat in a wheel, man. And so you have to break the cycle. You have to flip this thing on its head and make it behave. You've got to get so fired up and wired up that your broke friends think you've lost your mind. If people aren't making fun of you, you're probably not on track. Because people are stupid. People are broke. They Said and I Heard is the dumbest financial planning firm out there. Because if you look around, 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. $1.4 trillion in stupid student loan debt. Another trillion in stupid credit card debt. Car fleeces. 78% of the cars that leave a new car lot are fleeced right now. And most of the rest of them are financed. Stupid is on parade all around you. It's a clown show financially. You want to be that? I don't want to be that. That's where when I hit bottom, I mean, I didn't hit bottom. I completely splatted because I was stupid with steroids, man. I know what stupid looks like. I looked that boy in the mirror. I know who he is. He was wrapped around my neck. And so you don't want to live like that. But your foundational stuff is to at least get rid of your debt, not counting your home. And at least get you a rainy day fund. And you don't need to be doing any investing until you get that crap straightened out. It's time to put on your big boy pants, your big girl pants. This is grown-up talk here. You're not in Congress. You have to live on less than you make. You have to apply yourself to these situations. You have to look in the mirror and look at each other as a married couple or as a single. Look in the mirror and say, no, we're not going on vacation. We're broke. We have 2 car payments and a credit card debt and a student loan that's been around so long we think it's a pet. No, we're not going out to eat. We're not going to strut around acting like we're something we're not. Tom Stanley, who wrote the book Millionaire Next Door, his last book he wrote before he was killed in a car accident a couple of years ago, was Stop Acting Rich. That was the title of the book. It's a great title. Stop Acting Rich. That's what it comes down to. Quit acting like you're something you're not. You don't have any stinking money. Act like a broke person. Why? It's easy. You're a broke person. You make 60 or 90 or 160 a year and you got nothing. Nothing. No money. Payments coming out your ears, out of control, strutting around acting like you're something. In Texas, they call that big hat, no cattle. Stop it. It's time to lay these basic steps out and lay into them and say, that's it. I'm tired of being broke. I work too stinking hard to be this broke. I put up with too much crap to be this broke. So my grandfather, when he was a very young man and newly married, started a business. And about that time, the Great Depression hit, the stock market crashed, he lost his business. He was blessed to get a job in Alcoa, Tennessee with Alcoa Aluminum back in the day. He ended up working there for 38 years in the accounting department, was one of the head cost accountants when he retired. I heard the story growing up, I didn't witness it, that he had a bit of a temper. Can't imagine that in the Ramsey family. And apparently, as the story goes, he was at my parents' house, who were newly married, and they're probably 20 years old, with a little kid, me, running around. And my mom reached to put some leftovers away and pulled out aluminum foil, only it wasn't Alcoa aluminum foil. It was, God help us, Reynolds wrap. Well, apparently he got so angry, he took the Reynolds wrap and pulled it all out all over the backyard, went through her cabinets and threw out everything that was Reynolds wrap in her cabinets and said, Alcoa Aluminum has supported this family for decades and you will not dishonor that. Now, was that a little overboard? Yeah, definitely a little overboard. Ramseys have a tendency to be overboard sometimes. I'll go with that. But it's an interesting thing that I think is missing today in our culture. This idea that the company that you work for gives you money, therefore feeds your family, allows you to live your dreams, allows your children to go to school and puts clothing on them and food on their table. And I know corporate America is not loyal to the worker and doesn't always treat the worker great. I get all of that, but this is not about corporate America. This is about you and your personal integrity. An element of integrity is loyalty. So I think a little bit of what my grandfather had, a little dose of that would be good for every one of us to remember. If you don't like them, if you think they're a bunch of bozos, if you think they don't have integrity, if you think they don't pay enough, this is a free country. Quit! Get out! Stop! Why do you keep working for someone that you think is a crook and that mistreats people? That says more about you than it does about them. When you no longer trust leadership, when you no longer believe in the cause, when you don't think the product or the service that the company puts out is quality and you're no longer proud of it, that's God speaking to you. He's yelling at you. He's saying, I have something else for you. Leave. Go do something else. Leave. When your spirit leaves, for God's sakes, take your body with it. God has a plan for you. He loves you, and it's not to bring you harm. It's to bring you hope. He designed you in such a way that you're supposed to do certain things. Folks work for us for a season sometimes. Sometimes they're healing while they work for us, and they go out, they start their own businesses sometimes. Sometimes they move on to other things. Sometimes they decide I'm some kind of character, and they don't want to work for that kind of character. All of that is fine. The only thing that's not fine is staying in a place that you hate, because it says more about you than it does about the place. Any of you old enough to remember when the real estate market crashed in 2008? You couldn't give a house away. House prices dropped. Some of the markets, the bubble burst. There was some dramatic bubble bursting out there. Well, I'm happy to report that almost every market has returned its value. Home prices are back to where they were and beyond. And most major cities in America today, the real estate market is white hot, like 98% of them. There's a few places that have problems that are not national economy problems, they're local economy problems. And, the micro issues within that city are screwing up the city, but that's different. Most neighborhoods in most cities right now are white hot. You put a house on the market, you get multiple bids by the weekend. Most of the time right now, you've got that. And that is driving prices up, of course. Because anytime you've got, it's a simple supply-demand economics lesson from the 7th grade, if you had 7th grade econ, if there's such a thing anymore. But, when there's a limited supply and a whole bunch of people chasing that limited supply, that drives prices up. When there's an oversupply and not as many people chasing something as much as there is supply, it drives prices down. It's called a glut in the market. It's pretty simple. We know that. Scarcity drives price up, in other words. And when a market is white hot, like the residential real estate market is right now, prices are generally going up. That is creating a couple of situations in the real estate world that we're running into out here, and I'm talking to you about it. One problem is this. MarketWatch came out this week and said 1.6 million homeowners are predicted to get new home equity lines of credit in 2018. Now that people have equity, what are they going to do? Go borrow it! Well, that's just stupid. But there's 1.6 million people out there. They're getting ready to do something stupid, according to this report. Don't go borrow your equity out of your house, especially on a freaking home equity loan. It's the credit card of the mortgage world. You know what a home equity loan is? It's a good chance for you to lose your home. Let me tell you why. Most of them have an annual or a biannual, every 2-year call in them, meaning the bank can just decide they want all their money, and you have to go get another loan or have the cash to pay them off right then, or they foreclose. I mean, it looks like something in an old 1930s movie or something. But everybody just bebops along and acts like it's nothing, because usually they don't do that, but they have the right in the paperwork to just decide they don't like you anymore and call the loan. The second thing is, you know what the interest rate on your home equity loan is based on? Your banker's mood. It's not tied to any index. It's not tied to any national publishing. It's somewhat controlled by competition, but when they change, they just change it. It's completely variable, and it's variable based on, I think we can get a little more out of George this week. Let's just raise it. And they just raise them. Or they might lower them, but not very often. And so you are setting yourself up in a piece of crap loan with a call and a variable rate that is based on the banker's whim. That's just dumber than a rock. That's just dumber. You are asking for trouble. And then when things turn down, you're going to go, oh, well, I didn't think that was stupid. Because, hey, when things are going really good, stupid gets covered up. Stupid can look smart when things are good. But like Warren Buffett says, when the tide goes out, you can tell who was skinny dipping. When things go down, this home equity loans are going to be, oh, I had no idea. Well, where were you in 2008? I mean, were you not born yet? Seriously. How did you have no idea? You didn't even look at it. All you cared about was, I wanted a new kitchen. Princess, come on, shut up. Stupid butt stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't borrow this equity out. You're supposed to be building wealth in the ownership of your home, not constantly borrowing it out to buy crap. And that's what your home equity. I'm going to move my credit card debt over there. I paid off my credit card debt with a home equity loan. See, that statement right there is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Here's why it's dumb. You didn't pay off your credit card debt. You moved it onto your mortgage. So you go to the steakhouse and eat a steak. Talk about buying a depreciating asset on debt. Put that on a credit card. And then when you can't pay the credit card, you roll it over to a home equity loan. Then when you can't pay the home equity loan, you put it in your refinance on your new 30-year mortgage. So now you've financed a freaking steak over 30 years. This is stupid on steroids. And this is what people do regularly. This is a problem, folks. It's a problem. Every time things get good, people get lazy. Financially fat, sassy, and undisciplined and not watching what you're doing. One of the key elements to becoming a millionaire is not borrow on your house, it's get your stinking house paid off. It's one of the key elements of becoming a millionaire. All the data points show us that. This isn't the stuff I made up. Don't go borrow on your home equity loan. And oh, by the way, some of you that have been thinking about selling your house, I don't know what you're waiting on. I can't, you're supposed to buy low and sell high. It's high. It's high. If you were ever going to sell a house, right now is the time to sell it. Right now, this minute. Jump online at DaveRamsey.com, click on ELP for real estate, get you one of these high-octane, high-protein real estate agents, and get the sign in the yard. I can do it myself because I'll just get multiple offers. Yeah, there's a good way to lose an extra 3%, and 3% of $200,000 is known as $6,000 because you don't know what the flip you're doing, and you hire a professional to work on your teeth, you hire a professional to do your will, you hire a professional to do your taxes and work on your car, but you're going to sell your largest asset by yourself. That's stupid. Don't do that. A monkey can sell a house in this market, but that doesn't mean they did it right. Don't hire a monkey. Don't hire a real estate agent that's been in the business for 20 minutes because they're your relative. My Aunt Jessie just got her license. That's a good way to screw stuff up right there. Stay away from Aunt Jessie till she figures out how to, like these doctors, my practice. That's because you're practicing still. Yeah, don't get somebody still practicing. Get a professional that's getting it done, that knows what they're doing. Somebody sells 3 houses a year and sold 10 houses in their lifetime doesn't need to be selling your largest house, your largest asset. Today's question comes from Tom in Pennsylvania. He says, my wife has always wanted to go see the Green Bay Packers at their home field. That's like me saying my wife's always wanted a new boat. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't. I got to keep reading. This year, they're playing the Eagles. My team. Oh, okay. Now I'm getting there. In November. We're on baby step 3, and we won't have it completed until March of 2015. We've been arguing about it for quite some time. I don't think we should go, but she wants to. It'll cost $1,500. Should we go or not? Well, you can do whatever you want to do. You're adults. You get to decide. But I will tell you my opinion. I love football. I'm a season ticket holder at the University of Tennessee and at the Titans. And I will be at almost every home game of both of them this year. So I love that. But you know what? It's not, instead of having an emergency fund to protect my family, let me help you with this. It's a football game. That's a game. They don't pay you. You pay to watch them. It's a game. And you don't put that ahead of your family's financial foundation. I'm really sorry, but this is about time to put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants and say that we don't put games and luxuries ahead of our family's financial foundation. And when you're walking around without a rainy day fund, what if you go to the Packers game, you spend $1,500, you got $2,000 in your emergency fund instead of 10 like you should have, and the next week you get laid off. The next week you have a car wreck. I'm not against football. I'm a huge football fan. And I'm not against spending $1,500 on a football game when you have one, when you have $1,500. So, and, honestly, seeing the Green Bay Packers play at their home field that's iconic. I agree with that. But you know what? I think they'll be playing next year. And I don't think they'll play the Eagles at home next year, probably year after. Seems like they're in the same division if I remember right. And so either way, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to this game. One of the things you have to do if you're going to win with money is you have to learn the ancient word. And the ancient word is an indication of emotional maturity. See, one definition of maturity is learning to delay pleasure. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. The ancient word is the word, it's a strange word. You've not heard it in a while. No one in America hears this word, and no one likes it. It's politically incorrect. You can get thrown out of entire clubs, restaurants, and organizations for saying this word. People will ostracize you for saying this word. Are you ready? It's a nasty, nasty word, but it's very seldom heard, so you don't have to worry about hearing it much. No. That's the word. No. I'm convinced at the center of the degradation of the majority of our culture, the disintegration of our culture before our eyes, is the inability of people to look at themselves and look at those they love and say, no. You can practice it with me. You push your tongue towards the roof of your mouth. You make a kissing motion with your lips, blow air past and release your tongue. It's a strange method, but you can do it. It sounds like no. No. No, we can't afford it. Yet. No, we're not going out to eat tonight. We don't have any money. No, I'm going to vote you out of office because you don't know how to say no. Because all you know how to say is yes. You're a government enabler. You're congressionally codependent. So, no, we're going to vote you out of office. I want my money back. If you went to any other organization other than your government and you got the buy that you get from your government, if you went into a restaurant and you were charged $20,000 for a meal like you are for a toilet seat when you buy one with your tax dollars through the government, you would say, I want my money back. This is ridiculous. You're overcharging me. No, I'm not going to put up with this. No, I've had enough. What do you mean you're going to make raunchy jokes in front of me, the young lady says at work? No, I don't work here anymore because I'm not going to put up with you. You're scum. No. No. The employer says, no, you're not going to talk like that in our organization. You have to leave. No. Half the things wrong with our culture is because people don't have enough freaking backbone to say, no. No, you can't afford it. Now, all of society's ills are not camped on your head, Tom, over a football game. Don't misunderstand. But really, this whole place we could all use a little growing up, and we just heard the word no. No, I'm tired of you taking my private property away from me because you are righteous only with other people's money. Your taxation rate is just too high, so I'm going to fire you with my next vote. No. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. No. 7-year-old is throwing a fit. The 5-year-old, the 4-year-old's throwing a fit, complete with snot flying everywhere, tears going everywhere, laying in the floor, spinning around like they're breakdancing in the cereal aisle of the grocery store. A complete freaking meltdown by a toddler or sub-toddler. You know what the answer is? Still, no. And now pain is going to follow if you don't get your little butt up and head towards the car. No. No. No is a complete sentence. And when I learned that word, it changed my life financially. When I got to the point that I could actually make a decision myself and look in the mirror and tell me no, then I was able to say yes. Because if you say no a while, if you live like no one else, if you pay a price to win, Later, you get to live and give like no one else. Sometimes I've had to look at people that were trying to feed hungry children or drill a well or put up mosquito nets or buy a car for a single mom. Someone was trying to put that money together and they asked me, and I used to have to say no because I didn't have any money because all I had said is yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I want this. Yes, I'll have that. Yes, I have worked so hard, I deserve it. Oh, brother, you sound like you're 4 years old. Let me tell you what you deserve. Nothing. Until you've saved up the money and pay for it. No. I know you've heard the word no more in the last 5 minutes than you have maybe in your entire life, or certainly in the last 6 or 8 months, because if you walk up and down the street and you have normal conversations with people in a politically correct society where everyone thinks they have nothing but rights and they have no boundaries, and they spend all their lives walking around with a chip on their shoulder looking for an opportunity to be offended by someone else, we just... All right, look, here's the deal. Your number one wealth building tool is your income. All of the millionaires that we interview, unless they inherited the money, which is very, very few of them, less than 10% of them inherited the money, did it by saving and investing their income. They did not give their income to Sally Mae. They did not give their income to Best Buy. They don't get screwed around and give their income to Lexus and Toyota and Ford and General Motors and American Distress and MasterCard, who named that anyway. It's a mathematical thing. When you give your income to someone else, you don't have it anymore. Is this hard? This is hard, isn't it? And when you give your income away, you have given up your economic future. All for crap. For a stinking flat screen. And listen, let me just tell you, here's the deal. You know, of the number of people that start college, how many graduate? 52%. That's an investment in my future. Said the other 48% that are sitting at home with no freaking degree, but by God, they got the student loan debt. And you know how you get rid of Sally Mae? You either pay her off in full or you die. That's the only way that woman goes away. It's not bankruptable. It is not an investment in yourself to borrow, even if it is an investment. We don't borrow money for investments. We don't borrow money for investments. I don't teach people to borrow money. The borrower is slave to the lender. That's what this math says. When you give up your income, when you give your income away, you have nothing. All the money comes in. All the money goes out. But by God, we're sitting around counting our Discover points. Oh, we got airline miles. Oh, Sally Mae's been with us for 15 freaking years in our spare bedroom. All because we called it an investment. I don't understand why it's bad. It's bad because it's stupid and you're normal. 70% of the Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That's stupid because you're living in one of the wealthiest countries the world has ever known, and there you sit like a rat in a wheel. Run, 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 run. Why? Because student loans are an investment and I'm going to Best Buy. This is just stupid. It's stupid on steroids. Really, seriously, you've got to stop and think. The level of people's ability to do critical thought is almost zero. Good Lord. I'll get airline miles. Said no millionaire ever. Really, millionaires do. I met with thousands and thousands of millionaires. I've never met one that said, you know, Dave, I made my money with my airline miles. Oh, those Discover points broke me through financially. Hey, let's do the math, okay? You know how you get $1,000 back from Discover? You spend $100,000. How does spending $100,000 to get $1,000 back ever make you rich? Where did you take your math class? Really? This is absolutely ludicrous. But everybody's counting their dadgum points, and everybody's trying to figure out some way I'm beating up on Chase. Chase is kicking your butt. Their building's bigger than yours, and their furniture's nicer than yours. You ought to have a clue by now. And I got a car payment bigger than your house payment, some of you. Average car payment in America now is $499 $149. That's suspiciously like $500. If you take $500 a month and invest it from age 30 to age 70, you'll have, would you believe it? You're going to have over $5 million. And you scratch your head and wonder why you're freaking broke. God, no wonder your students have student loans, because you're driving a dadgum $1 million car, $2 million, $3 million car. That's what it's costing you with your stupid car payment to impress somebody at a stoplight that you will never meet, and the thing's going down in value like a rock. We have to stop and think, America. You have to think instead of sitting around eating Skittles and watching Oprah reruns. This is stupid. We're fat and we're broke because we have no ability to do critical thought, and we don't stop and look at what we're putting into our lives. This is nuts. It's nuts. It's completely out of control. The number of people I've talked to just today with $25,000 and $30,000 owed on their stupid car. It's a car. Good God, it's a car. What does it do? It takes you from here to there. Now, I don't mind you having a $25,000 car. All of my cars cost more than $25,000, but I freaking paid for them, and they're a very small percentage of my life, a very small percentage of my income. Think. Seriously. So, credit cards, stupid. Student loans, stupid. Car payments, stupid on steroids. Borrowing money on your house to put granite countertops in. Somebody ought to smack you. That's stupid. It's stupid. You have to stop and think again. It's because you're killing yourself. You make enough money to retire a millionaire or a multimillionaire. You make enough money that your kid ought to have a college fund fully funded and they can go to school without being part of the freaking student loan crisis. But by God, you had to have a bass boat so you're $32,000 in debt because those fish were outrunning you. God, think. Quit being grown-up children walking around in grown-up bodies. Children walking around in grown-up bodies. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. This ridiculous, impulsive nature of we think we're going to borrow our way into wealth it's out of control, guys. We've got to stop this. It's killing you. It's killing you. While I'm sitting over here piling up money like it's dadgum nothing, and some of you are sitting there broke. Why? And then going, I'm going to borrow money at Best Buy. Oh, geez, I'm going to kill you. Seriously. I'm going to go borrow and get a student loan and invest in myself. Yeah, you're going to spend $140,000 and go in debt and get a degree in freaking left-handed puppetry. That's just dadgum stupid. It's just stupid. You have to think, people. You have to think. Quit giving your most powerful wealth-building tool away. It's your income. You're making everybody else rich. Think.
All right, guys, my biggest takeaway is that so many people lack the basic knowledge about money. Even the simplest areas of personal finance, like budgeting, are way beyond what a lot of us were taught to do, which is not okay and why so many people find themselves in trouble. But listen, when you follow common sense money principles like the baby steps, you're going to set yourself up for incredible success later in life. And it's not always easy, but it's very simple and anyone can do it. I think that's why Dave gets so passionate about all of this, and honestly, why I'm so passionate about it too. Next up, we're gonna look back on Dave's best moments coaching people who ended up in a lot of financial trouble. So stick around and make sure to share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching.
Marcel starts off this hour, Tulsa, Oklahoma caller. Hey, Marcel, how are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
I'm 25 years old. I have two boys, 4 and 2, and I'm trying to establish a set goal and plan how to get out of debt as far as my student loans, and I'm a single parent, so I have a lot of bills that's due, and so I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing that, taking care of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what do you do for a living?
I work for the gas company.
Mm-hmm. And what do you make? What's your household income?
Right now, I make $13.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And I get paid every week. So
that's good. That's good. And you got family in the area?
Yes.
Okay. And where's the kid's mom?
She recently just got back in town. She was she was moved away in Atlanta. So,
So you have the custody of the boys.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And does she pay any child support?
No.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. All right. And how much debt do you have, sir?
With my student loans and medical bills, 17,000, maybe 18,000.
Okay. All right. Cool. And all right. And how much is your rent?
Right now it's $585.
That's good news. Okay. Well, you got a lot of stuff on your plate, man. I mean, you already knew that. You're trying to raise kids, and and you're working hard. You're a good man, and you're trying to. But making $13.50 an hour, feeding 2 kids with $500 rent, that's about all that's happening there. There's no wiggle room in that budget. You already knew that, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, I think it's impressive if you just feed your kids, keep the lights on, keep the rent paid at the $13.50 rate.
Right.
And let's worry about the student loans a little bit later. Now, having said that, we got to have some hope for this situation. The good news about life, Marcel, is that it's never a snapshot; it's a film strip. And what that means is it's ever changing. You're not stuck where you are right now. Next year is going to be different. It's either going to be better or worse, but it'll be different.
Yes, true.
Okay? And so we got to start working towards making it better, because the best way for you to build a quality life for you, your boys, and get rid of this debt is we got to get your income up.
Okay.
Long term, right?
Yes, right.
I mean, you're a good man. You're working hard. I'm glad you got a job, but I want you to make twice that 2-3 years from now.
Okay.
And I think you're probably worth it. And so, to where you can get some traction in your life financially. You're living right on the bubble. And I don't want this for you 10 years from now. And it will be exactly what you're doing. You'll be doing exactly the same thing you're doing right now 10 years from now, unless you plan a way out.
Okay.
So we got to have a new game plan. And to start with, we got to start thinking about, what do you want to be doing with your life? If you could do anything you wanted to do, what would you do that paid $60,000 or $160,000 a year? And you don't have to answer me right now, but I want you to start thinking that way. And then then once you identify, say, I could be that thing. I know I've always wanted to do that. I really believe I could do that, but I got to have some training. I got to have an education. I got to have a mentor program, an apprentice program, whatever it is to get there. And that's going to take me 2 years of going to this class or taking this certification or doing this or that, right?
Right.
And so we got to plan. We got to figure out where we're going and then make a plan to get there. That's your long-term answer to your financial equation too. Plus, it's just going to give you a better life.
Right.
And then the short term is the dreaded part-time job, which is tough as a single dad. But if you can get some family support and do, even if you just did a few little things and made $1,000 a month, dude, that changes your whole life right now. I mean, if I could add $1,000 a month to your income right now, it'd be like, woohoo! Because it changes these ratios way, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And that could be cutting grass on the weekends.
Okay.
That could be, I don't know, walking somebody's dog. I don't know. Whatever you've got talent that you know how to do, that you can go do. You may be a computer engineer. I don't know what you do, but figure out something that you can do. And maybe it's a small business idea that you just do for yourself. Because let me give you an example. And I'm not saying you do this, but I'm amazed at how much money people make per hour just doing little odd job things, like being a maid, going into a lady's house, cleaning her house. You can make $25 an hour doing that. Now, and maybe there's something the equivalent that you would do that's like that, right? And I'm not saying you're gonna be a maid. That's not my point. But I'm saying if you cut grass for yourself for 2 people, you could average $25 an hour. And do that on Saturday mornings before the kids get up. Your mama comes over and sits there while they're still asleep or something. I don't know. But let's start to think that way with the short term to get the income up and start to have some traction and get a little distance between you, because you're so on the bubble that any little thing right now is a freaking crisis.
Yes, it is.
Okay, now am I saying anything in all of this that's wrong?
Okay.
Am I? I'm asking you.
No. Oh, no.
Does this all make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you this: how much reading do you do? Not much.
Not much.
Okay, that's
Not much
okay.
at all.
That's okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to become a reader. I want you to turn the television off. The average millionaire reads a nonfiction book a month. I got a friend of mine reading 2 a month because he wants to be a 2 millionaire. Okay? So I'm going to send you some books, and I'm putting you in college right now, man, on how to get your life organized, how to get your act together where you go win and double your income. And it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, every idiot would do it, right?
Right. Yes, sir. Right.
But you gotta know that the average millionaire can't tell you who got thrown off the island. They're reading and doing other stuff at night, you know?
Right.
And so turn off your television when the kids go to bed, read 30 minutes a night, and even if you're a slow reader, you're not getting a grade on this. The only grade on this is improving your life. So take your time. And if you don't understand something, read it 3 times. And if you don't understand that, then email somebody over here at the office, and one of us will explain it to you.
Yes, sir.
And so we're going to school here because this is how you make your life better is you have knowledge tomorrow that you didn't have today, and you apply it. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Are you in a good church?
Yes, I am.
Good. Get some good men around you and look for some men that are doing well in the business community that would walk with you in this journey you're going on. That'll put their arm around you and say, hey, Marcel, I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to love you, and I'm going to show you how to win. Get some guys that are ahead of you on this journey, and that will show you how to take the journey. You hold on. I'm going to send you a whole case of different books. You're going to be reading for the next 2 years on everything I send you. Hold on. So, George, 30 years ago when I started teaching this stuff, I was first teaching people how to get out of debt, live on a budget, be generous, live on less than you make. So you have a plan, you avoid debt, you save money for emergencies and later for investing. And all of those principles work, but people kept saying, which one do I do first? And so I started laying out, well, you should do this first and that first. You should have an emergency fund before you start your 401k. And then I figured out it's easier to have an emergency fund if you don't have any payments. And so you need to get out of debt first. Because, of course, I learned my lesson the hard way, going bankrupt and getting out of debt, and learning how important it was to be debt-free as a process, as a part of building wealth. So all of that started to formulate after a few years of teaching in various settings and what became Financial Peace University. It used to be called Life After Debt. And it started becoming what we now call the baby steps. And the interesting thing is that now the baby steps have gone into the Total Money Makeover book, which has sold almost 10 million copies. And they have become the proven plan, the shortest distance between where you are now and wealth. Where you are, if you'll live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. What is the shortest distance? And we need a path to run on because the way you eat an elephant, it's overwhelming. Do I do my 401k with the match or my kid's college? Or do I have an emergency fund? Or do I pay on this 18% credit card debt? Or, and nothing gets done. You get paralysis of the analysis. You get frozen.
Absolutely. And this step, these baby steps have worked for me. They've worked for millions. And it's really simple. If you do it, they work. And it all starts with baby step 1, having this foundation, saving $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is just a small buffer between you and life before we start tackling the debt.
Exactly. And if you have $1,000 already, great. Just set that aside. That's your baby step 1. Any money you have that's not retirement, anything you can sell that is not retirement, you're going to liquidate it. If it's not retirement, you got some stock over here that Grandpa left you. You got a gold bar under your bed. I don't know what it is, but you got any money that's above $1,000. Maybe you got $10,000 in a savings account. That's $9,000 you've got that you don't need past baby step 1. We're going to put it all on baby step 2. And baby step 2 is the famous one. That's the debt snowball, where you list your debts smallest to largest. You pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and you attack the little one with a vengeance. Side note, baby step 1 should not take you more than 30 days. Maximum. You need to work extra, sell some stuff, have a garage sale, put the kids on Craigslist, whatever you got to do here. Let's get it done. And we're going to get busted into this, get $1,000 quick. Baby step 2, you should be debt-free, but your house. Now, you may have to sell a stupid boat. You may have to take an extra job. But most people that have followed the Total Money Makeover baby steps in Financial Peace University are debt-free inside of 2 years.
Yeah, and that's with doing it with some gazelle intensity, like you talk about in Financial Peace University. And once you pay off all that debt, now you freed up all those payments, right? You have that income back in your life.
Think about what it'd be like to have no payments but a house payment. Wow.
We're breathing easy. And then we can move on to baby step 3, where we save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. This is the final buffer where we say we're never going back into debt because we are the bank now.
Yep. Grandma's rainy day fund. Why? It's going to rain. Dave, you need to be positive. I'm positive. It's going to rain. You need to be ready when crap happens. There's a pandemic coming around every corner. There's something coming, and if you have $20,000 cash in the bank, 3 to 6 months of expenses, whatever it is, and you have no payments, you are the third pig in the 3 little pigs, the one that's in the brick house when the big bad wolf comes. You're ready for life. You're ready to go. Now you're ready to build wealth. But that you just now have gotten up to ground zero. You've just now gotten up to even. When you have that emergency fund and you're debt-free, now you're ready to build wealth. And in baby step 4, you put 15% of your income aside into good growth stock mutual funds in retirement plans. Start where there's a match. Beyond the match, always do Roth. And if you've exhausted Roth and match and still are not to 15%, then go on to a traditional 401k or IRA. But do Roths before traditional and do match before Roths. It's mathematically in your favor to do that up to the 15%. Don't do 20%. Don't do 11%. Do 15%. While you are doing baby steps 4, you're also going to be doing 5 and 6 simultaneously.
Absolutely. So baby step 5 is where we're saving for our children's college fund. And this is going to look different for everyone. There's no set number here because it really depends on your situation.
Did you have the baby last week or is the baby 18? That makes a difference on how much you need for college, right? I mean, what you got to do for college. Just like, is this an oh crap moment or, hey, we're going to be diligent and save? Did we wait almost until too late? Now, they have to go to college debt-free. They cannot participate in this epic student loan system failure that is called America right now. It is horrible out there. Do not let your kids go in debt. You do not have to go to debt. Go to community college for free for 2 years. Go to in-state school. Work 6 jobs, get scholarships. Our student loan problem is a parenting problem. Mom and dad let kids sign up for crap they couldn't afford. Bad mama, bad daddy.
They got to have the conversations. That's where it starts. And there's a reason you say baby step 4, invest for yourself before the kids, because there's a 100% chance you're going to retire. There's a 50-50 chance or less these days that your kid's going to go to college.
And graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this less than 50% chance they're going to graduate. So, this is important. So while you're doing 15%, you do whatever you need to do for your kids' college, whatever you decide to do for your kids' college. Beyond that, if you can find any money, you do that on baby step 6, and that's pay off your house. Start chunking on the house. Now, when you're in 1 through 3, you are so intense your friends are freaking out. Your grandmother thinks you need counseling. You are gazelle intense like a gazelle running from a cheetah. When you're in 4 through 7, you're not intense anymore. You are now intentional. You're just doing it on purpose, but you're no longer on beans and rice. You're on beans and rice, rice and beans, scorched earth on 1 through 3 till you get those 3 things done. Now, get that house paid off. The average person following this stuff is paying off their home in about 7 or 8 years. Now, that tells us that the whole program is taking about 10 years, and the average baby steps millionaire, the average everyday millionaire that we've studied, we're finding them become a millionaire from the time they start with intensity followed by intentionality, become a millionaire in about 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
11.2 years, 10.6 years are the 2 numbers we keep running into. So this is completely possible.
Yeah, and once you pay off that house, it's time to build wealth and give outrageously in baby step 7. That's where it ends.
Yeah, you will be a millionaire shortly after your home is paid for if you don't at that moment. And then you continue to build wealth, and you raise your generosity, and you continue to build wealth, and you raise your generosity. And you enjoy the money at that point.
That's where it gets fun.
These are the only 3 things you can do with money, and you should do all of them at baby step 7. And that's the route you're going. That's where you are. That's who you are. That is the baby steps. Shelby starts off this hour in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Shelby. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
We have a 2008 Nissan Rogue that we've had for 10 years, and it just died today. The car itself is worth $3,000, and we have it paid off, of course. The transmission to put into the car to fix it would cost $2,900. So do we pay what the car is worth to fix it, or do we spend an extra $5,000 that would take about a year to pay off to buy about a 4-year newer car?
So you have the $2,900 to fix the transmission?
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't have the extra $5,000 that we would in about 6 months to a year.
Why an extra $5,000? Just because you want a better car?
No, is it smart to fix the car?
Both are dumb.
That's only, what's that?
Both are dumb.
Both are dumb?
What's wrong with buying a $3,000 car with the money that you have?
It doesn't seem like it would last us with our we have 4 kids.
You're driving a $3,000 car now.
Yeah, and it's broken.
Yeah.
So you would say buy a $3,000 car that might have the same problems as our current $3,000 car?
Well, your $8,000 car might have the same problems if you select a bad car. A $25,000 car can have a transmission go out. Any car can have a transmission go out. Any car runs a chance of breaking down. But if you want to use all of those emotions to rationalize going into debt, you can, but I'm not going to tell you to. I think it's stupid. I'll walk before I have a car payment. But
do we put the money into our broken car?
No.
Like, would you pay $3,000 into a car that's worth $3,000?
No, I would sell your car. I would sell your car as is for salvage. I would take that money and put it with the actual cash that you have, and I would not buy a car that had any debt on it.
Okay.
Now, you said you could pay off a $5,000 additional loan in 1 year, right?
Oh, or less.
Okay. How quickly could you pay it off if you went absolutely bananas?
Maybe like 2 months.
2 months? Okay. Well, then you could rent a car for 2 months and save up the money.
Yeah. Okay.
And then pay cash for a better car if you want to do it that fast. Or you could buy the $3,000 car with... How much money do you actually have in cash?
About $3,500.
Okay, and your car probably bring about $500 as is, right? So we're buying a $4,000 car with cash and then save like crazy between now and Christmas and trade again. Move up.
But would that be a wash? I mean, we wouldn't... I guess we would pay... We would get $4,000 if we just bought a car for $4,000.
Yeah, $4,000 car is not going to go down much in value in 6 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty well done. So it'll hold, especially if you buy a decent car, you know, something that's decent for $4,000. You're going to shop around, make sure you get something that's reliable, and that's in better condition, honestly, than your Rogue was. Okay. Yeah. And you can buy a lot of car for $4,000 if you watch what you're doing. We're not worried about the sex appeal of this car. We're worried about its mechanical substance.
Yes.
I don't care if people make fun of its body. I want it to work for those 6 months, and during those 6 months, you save up and pay for it. Now, let's back off just a second, okay?
Okay.
Here's the reasoning behind this so that you understand why I'm coming down so hard on it. The average car payment in America today is $507. If the average person with the average car payment were to instead invest that money from age 30 to age 70 instead of having a car payment their whole life, they would have in excess of $5 million. Translation, car payments are stupid because it costs you $5 million in the scope of your life. Because you see what I'm saying? So if the thing you've got to do then is you got to go, okay, every time I have a problem, I can't solve it with debt, even if I can, in quotes, pay it off quickly. Put your air quotes up when you do that, you know, like pay it off quickly, which is famous last words, because usually then life happens and you don't pay it off quickly, and it drags on out, and you end up living your life from debt to debt to debt to debt to debt, from car payment to car payment to car payment to car payment, from this crisis solved by debt to that idea solved by debt to, oh, we went on vacation, we didn't quite pay for it, we got that. Oh, last Christmas, I forgot it was in December, so it's debt. And, you know, and this is how most people live, and they live broke. And you work your whole freaking life giving your money to some stupid bank. And that's what I'm trying to prevent here. I want you to win. I want you to be wealthy. And the best way to do that is drive like no one else so that later you can drive like no one else. Today, you know what I drive? Anything I want. But you know what I drove when we went broke? A borrowed 1978 Cadillac that the predominant color on it was Bondo, and the vinyl roof was loose, so when you drove it, it filled up with air. It looked like a Bondo parachute coming down the road. You might be a redneck if was written on the side of it. Really. I drove that car for what felt like 10 years during one 3-month period. That car has scarred me psychologically to where I will never again in my life do anything that puts me or my family in a position that we have to drive some piece of crap like that again. We are going to save. We are going to live on less than we make. We are going to have a plan. We are going to work like maniacs. We, the Ramseys, are never going to do that crap again. My family tree has changed. And that's what I want for you guys. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, pulling up at a stoplight, comparing cars, with everybody around you. Those are broke people at that stoplight. They look good, but they're broke people. And if they got a ski boat or a bass boat behind that nice truck, they're really broke people. Because they got a $600 payment on a bass boat because the former bass boat, the engine wasn't big enough and those bass were outrunning them, so they had to get a faster boat. Don't we do this stuff? We do this stuff. We all do this stuff. So we have to stop. We have to go, no. At some point, we have to break the mold, break the cycle, break the chains, break the curses off our family tree and say, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. As for me and my house, I don't care what you think about what I drive. Whether you think it's too nice or not nice enough, because it's not your freaking car, it's mine. Shut up. I don't care what you think about what I drive. I'll tell you who does care. My grandkids. Their lives are changed. A godly man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Try that one on. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Matthew is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Matthew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, I have a couple of quick questions. First of all, I have a annuity / 401k plan, and there's about close to $1 million in there. And I got this letter from the organization, and they have this program, and it's called a single life annuity, and I'll read it to you. It says, that pays you a fixed amount of money each month for the rest of your life. And then it says, following your death, no payments will be made to your spouse or your heirs. So the estimated payment that they'll pay me under that condition is $4,300 a month. Now, they also offer...
Well, that sucks.
Right.
$48,000 on $1 million, 4.8% return on your $1 million, and then you lose all your money at death?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know if you misunderstood. They're going to pay me, yes, they're going to pay me $4,300 a month.
Yeah, $48,000 a year.
Okay. That's correct. Yeah, you do quick math. Okay. But they also offer that for a lesser amount, which will be $3,600 a month, that I can my spouse will be able to continue at that amount.
That's so
for the
sweet.
rest of her life.
That's so sweet.
Right.
So they're going to screw you again. Yeah. No.
All right.
No. This is a $1 million mistake.
Okay.
So have you got a fireplace? Have you got a fireplace by chance?
I do. Yes.
Okay, good. You can use this letter for kindling.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is that, and that's kind of my question, is you're always concerned on how long you're going to live. Now, I'm concerned that you're $1 million poorer when you die
after only getting a 4.8% return on your money.
Okay.
That concerns me.
Okay.
When you could have been in good mutual funds averaging a 10% rate of return, and when you die, the $1 million is still there.
Right. Okay.
So this is it's like you're accepting half the money you should be getting per month, and you lose all of your money at retirement, and they wink and nod and act like they're doing you a favor. This is laughable.
Well, I think the reason that they bring this forward is because a lot of folks don't like to have to deal with,
the reason they bring it forward is anybody that's dumb enough to do it, they're screwing them out of $1 million. That's the reason they bring it forward.
Well,
it is not.
Well, they present it as being convenient for you.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. You have a guarantee. You're guaranteed to be screwed.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, seriously.
All right, well,
if you can listen, the stock market has averaged 11.8% since it began.
Right.
If it does half of what it has averaged for the next 20 years, you are still going to have more money per month and then leave your heirs $1 million more than these goobers are offering you. You understand the difference?
Right. Oh, yeah, no.
It's $1 million swing at death.
Yeah. Well, although you do know the $1 million is still, it's not taxed yet. I mean, I haven't pulled it out. So, I mean,
I do know that, and I do know that your income is going to be taxed as you pull it off per the income.
Exactly.
But I wasn't even going to touch the $1 million. I was going to live off of the return it created, and it just sits there.
Right.
And guess what?
Okay.
It's not taxed. So there you go. Yeah. No. When a life insurance company says we are here to help you, in general, it's like the government saying we are here to help. In both cases, you should scream, set your hair on fire, and run out of the room.
Right. Yeah. And I think, they do play into that convenience factor. I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed and they're like, we'll take care of you. Don't worry about, you could live 30 more years and we'll make sure you're taken care of. But it's not really the reality of the situation. They're not there to be super generous to you.
Another way of looking at it, Matthew, is you wouldn't have $1 million if you had been using their products to grow your wealth. You wouldn't even have this problem. The fact that you were self-sufficient.
Well, and it's like if you want to have that convenience factor, if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed with your finances and you have savings, then talk to a SmartVestor Pro. That's someone who can take that overwhelm and guide you into things that are really going to grow your money and help you in the long run.
Being broke is always inconvenient. Having half the money you should have is inconvenient. That's inconvenience. So, no, don't look for a babysitter. Don't look for a magic wand. Manage your money. Make your money behave. Live off of the income. $1 million creating a 10% rate of return is $100,000 a year, not $50,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, and just the fees on these products are ridiculous. I was just talking with my in-laws about this over Thanksgiving, and they were talking about annuities and showing me some of the paperwork, and it's like, whew, that is ridiculous. Even if there is a death benefit, it is not great.
Yeah. And it's just, so the best thing to do is to run from these people as fast as you possibly can. Do your investing in good investments, and good investments are never found at life insurance companies. Do not go to the transmission store to fix your muffler. They work on transmissions. Life insurance people should be in the life insurance business. They got in the investment business because they figured out it was a way to screw people. And that's what this is. Anytime you pay someone half of what they should be getting per month, and then you keep their money when they die, that by definition is screwing them. And so if you don't like it and you're in that business, you should get in another business, and that way I won't say you're screwing people. Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said you're a crook, okay? That's what Dave Ramsey just said. I stand up for the consumer. I don't give a flip what you think if you work for a life insurance company. You can just pound sand, right? And so that was nice. I cleaned that up considerable. But no, seriously, there's entire websites devoted from the life insurance world that hate on Dave Ramsey, and I am blessed by that fact because that means that I am standing up for the consumer instead of you out there, you listeners, and because I am not taking a poll with those morons. Oh my gosh, no. really, seriously, go handle your own money. You'll have more money during life. You'll have more money during death. Ride the roller coaster yourself. They're riding it and keeping the change while you sit there and take the lint out of your pocket. And that's all you get.
And so this comes out of the news, but George, it's not just a news story. It's actually a pervasive problem. And the story in the news right now, in fact, it's one of the hottest stories right now. It comes from the political world. This guy named George Santos. Have you heard of this guy?
Oh, yeah.
So he's a newly
I know all
elected,
the Georges out there.
You know
I keep
all
up.
the Georges. Well, so he's a newly elected congressman from New York, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And he's taken a lot of heat from the media, rightfully so, because it's come out, and almost it feels like every day the dude has just lied and lied and lied and lied to cover up those lies about his resume, his background. So he just lied to everybody. And boy, pressure on this guy to resign. And it's a little bit ironic that people are now shocked that a politician lied.
Well, it's the first time in history a politician has lied, Ken.
Yeah,
so this is big news.
So everybody's trying to grasp that deal. And then, but you know what? There's a deeper thing here, and there's a temptation for all of us to do what George Santos has done. And I'm going to break that down in a second, but I wanted, George, you pulled it up. Give us, if you would, just a couple of the fantastical lies that this congressman has laid out for everybody.
Lied about where he went to school, lied about where he worked, lied about owning a number of rental properties, lied about being robbed of his rent money, lied about his criminal status in Brazil, lied to donors, lied about his athletic accomplishments, lied about the timing of his mother's death, lied about his campaign finances, and this one might be the funniest one. He lied about being Jewish, and then he came back and said, no, I said I was Jewish.
which is even worse than the lie.
That's borderline comedic.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so this is a guy...
This is pathological, though.
That's the word.
Right?
No, he's a pathological liar. Now, why do we bring this up? In the work context for a moment, those of you who feel a sense of doubt, maybe you are dealing with imposter syndrome, and we took a call from a young man earlier this hour trying to get a job. And when we face doubt, George, it tempts us to be deceitful. Because we feel like if I'm not good enough, I've got to make up a story that makes me good enough. That's the slippery slope. And that's what he did.
Well, he took fake it till you make it to a very dangerous level here.
Oh, man. I mean, it's
He's
unbelievable. So doubt leads to deceit. When we don't manage our doubt, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'll get the job. I don't think they'll like me. I don't think she'll marry me. I mean, this thing spirals out of control, and it's all deceit, lying like this. And this is unbelievable, folks. Listen to this data. This is right here in my hand, CNBC article. 55% of Americans admit to lying on their resume at least once. 55%, George. This is according to a recent survey from Standout CV. And now it gets worse. By the way, before I tell you this data, if anybody out there wants to really know what we the people are really like, you want to know what the people of the world are really like, you want to know the true human condition, go look at Google searches. That's the ultimate indicator of who we are as humans. Case in point, the number of Google searches about how to fake a resume is up. The searches for how to fake a resume is up 48%, George. So what are people lying about? Here, real quick, the top 8 reasons or what they are lying about on their resume. 55% of people lie about their previous work experience. Well, that's smart because we know no one's going to check your references. I got anxiety thinking about this, George. How do you keep up with
the
this?
audacity that you could even pull this off is impressive.
Here's another one. This is my personal favorite because of the opportunity to humiliate yourself. 43% people admit to lying about their skills. Oh yeah, I can operate heavy machinery.
Or
Great.
even worse.
We'll see you on Monday morning.
Ken, you've done this one. I know Excel. It's a dangerous one.
Yeah, but no, heavy machinery. What are you doing, man?
That one could be life-altering.
Literally a life-altering. 41% lie about their college degree. 39% lie about personal details such as age, location, or name. 39% lie about high school. Hey, can I set everybody free who's tempted to lie about high school? Nobody cares what you did in high school. No one. Not even your mom or dad, because they've forgotten. 33% lie about salary. 33% lie about job-specific software or equipment skills. And then finally 21%, and this is so moronic, I don't even know how to process it. 21% of people lie on their resume about their employer references. So I guess they're making that up. Hey, George, will you do me a solid? I'm putting you down as a reference.
Oh, so I give him Ken's number, and I go, yeah, he was my previous manager. Give him a call. He'd be happy to talk to you. And I slip you a $20 bill and say, hey, Ken, if they call, make me look good.
Yeah, I feel like I need a shower. That's how dirty I feel right now.
So the solution here, Ken, obviously is to have integrity, which if I'm hiring someone, I want to hire someone with integrity. How do we get over this hump?
Yeah, so back to the reason, I always like to try to give you a deep source behind why we do what we do. And I think doubt is what leads us to deceit. So then if we need to manage doubt better, what do? So if doubt, the way I define doubt, George, is that I don't believe that something good can happen. That's doubt. I just don't believe that something good, this thing that I long for, this thing that I want to do, it can't happen. I doubt that it can happen for a variety of reasons. And so what you have to do there is you got to go, number one, I can't shortcut this doubt. I can't take my doubt in myself and then try to shortcut it by lying to everybody else. No, I've got to step into me and go, what is the voice of doubt telling me? I'm too old. Is that true? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got nothing to offer if I enter the workforce. Is that true? Is there any evidence that the doubt is telling you the truth? Because if doubt is telling you the truth, it's protecting you. I'll give you a silly example. George, if there's a 10-foot basketball goal in the lobby, and I tell all these fine people watching, hey, I can dunk. Have you ever seen me dunk before? Watch this. I'm going to dunk. And moments before I go to dunk the ball, I have some serious doubt because I haven't stretched. And let's be honest, I've never dunked a basketball. And doubt's going, I don't know if you can do this. Doubt's protecting me from certain humiliation. Silly example, but you get the point.
I'd lower the hoop for you, Ken, just for the record.
Thank you. But even then, it'd be a question mark. All right. But if doubt is saying, I can't ever start a business, I can't pay off debt, I can't get through the baby steps, I can't earn enough money to do it, that's holding you back. That's the idea. So instead of lying and trying to shortcut, which is what people do here, to get the job, you got to go, what am I doubting? Why am I doubting? Is there any evidence to support that? And then when we get clear that, hey, I actually can do this if I go get qualified, if I go make some connections. Now, all of a sudden, we're not having to lie. And here's the big takeaway. The reason we bring this up is because you can do severe damage to your ability to earn money if you get caught lying like this. I mean, because if you're lying on a resume, you'll lie on the job. And that's the idea.
And if I'm the hiring manager, I'd rather you come to me and say, hey, listen, I know you require this much experience. Here's what I'm bringing to the table. I know I'm not quite there, but here's what I'm doing to get there. I'm impressed. I'm ready to hire this guy.
Right.
Versus someone lying to my face.
Yeah. Not good at all.
Come on, be better, George Santos. I'm trying to represent Georges out here. You know, Foreman, Lopez, Costanza, Washington.
I like that.
Put respect on our name.
You know what the problem is? The guy, he's holding on for dear life. He's lied so much, he doesn't even know how to unravel or admit any of it.
I don't even know if his name's George anymore.
Why, we should look into that.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm on baby step 2, getting ready to liquidate my after-tax investment account, clean out my savings besides the $1,000 baby emergency fund to attack some personal loans. My question to you is, would it be worth it to take a loan out of my 401k just to clear out all the personal loans since the interest on the 401k loan is essentially paid to myself?
Yeah. No. How much debt do you have?
Personal loans about $22,000, and then student loans about $30,000.
Okay, and how much are all these after-tax investments going to create when you liquidate them?
Only about $6,000 and another 6 or 7 in savings.
Okay.
So it brings your debt down to 40. if you do that.
From 52, yeah. So you got $40,000 in debt. What's your household income?
Right around 155 before tax.
Good. Okay. All right. The problem with a 401k loan is severalfold. One is, yes, you do pay yourself back the interest, but you unplug that portion of the investment from the mutual funds that would have been earning you 12 this year, maybe even more percent. So maybe you would have made 15, but you paid yourself 5 instead. Bad idea, number one. Number two, when you leave the company, and you will leave the company, when you die, when you get a better job, or when they fire you, you will leave the company, okay? And if that loan is still in place at that time, it becomes due in full. If you do not pay it off in 60 days, it's considered an early withdrawal with all the taxes and penalties. So that leaves you very, very vulnerable. It's a really bad loan. And you've still got $40,000 to pay off regardless of what we do. Making 155, which you ought to do in what, like a year?
Yes, if I really told them.
Yeah, if you get on beans and rice and beans, and you tear into it, it sounds like you've studied our stuff, and you're doing, you're cleaning out everything. You're leaving $1,000. You're going to stop adding to the 401k. Yes, I would do that, but we never tell people to borrow on a 401k ever. I don't even offer the borrowing option to our team.
Couldn't do it if you wanted to here, which is good. Stop people from doing stupid.
Just not available. Just because I'm not going to participate in you doing something stupid. It's that simple. So, but no, that's the problems with it. You're going to get, you just leave yourself very, very vulnerable as opposed to a regular loan, so to speak. I mean, if you went and got just another loan at the bank for $40,000 and paid off and cleaned them up, but you've got one big loan instead at 5%. That would be okay because you don't have all these other problems. You didn't unplug an investment that might have made you 12 or 15, and you didn't leave yourself open to penalties and taxes in the event you leave that particular position. So, because pretend somebody came along and offered you double income. You got to think about not taking that because you got these golden handcuffs that you've created. Yeah, that's what people do. They go, I was going to take that better job, but then I had borrowed on my 401 and I was going to get hammered. So, yeah, that's what you don't want to do, Gordon. So,
but this is gone in less than a year. I mean, if you make 155 after taxes, let's call it, 110, you can live off 60 and pay off 50 in a year, and so it's gone.
Yeah, it's a $40,000 debt, and you're probably going to add to your income, and you're probably going to find some other stuff to sell. Maybe it's 14 months, maybe it's 15 months, maybe it's 9 months. I don't know, but it's somewhere in that range. It's not a
worth doing something
5-year issue.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't put all of this other stuff at risk for that. And so, no, I've never told anybody to do that. And folks, it's a good idea to just, aside from Gordon's question, let's just sidebar a second, George. The thing that we have figured out at Ramsey that a lot of people in the financial world are now acknowledging because we've made such a big footprint in the space, but most of the people when I was growing up in the financial world, we thought all this was a math problem. It's all about the math.
Well, hey, the interest is higher here. Why wouldn't I do this with lower interest?
All I got to do is fix the math, and I'm going to be okay. And what I've discovered in 35 years of doing this is it's not a math problem. It's a me problem. It's 80% personal finance is 80% behavior and 20% head knowledge. Now, why does that matter? Well, if you fix the math and you don't fix the behavior, you're going to be right back in the soup. That's why debt consolidation doesn't work. That's why we call it a con. Because you move all your debt from one place over to another into one big loan. In this case, he's using a 401k to do it. Now, in his case, it doesn't apply because he is actually changing. He has changed what he's doing. He's cleaning out these savings accounts. He's thinking about this. He's doing a budget. You can hear Gordon's really focused, right? So this particular part of the discussion does not apply to Gordon, okay? Because I think he's beyond that.
He's willing to make the sacrifices.
But a lot of people that have called me over the years that want to do a debt consolidation on, I want to move my debt over here. First thing is, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, the Bible says, and they say, I paid off my debt.
With the debt consolidation.
No, you didn't. You moved it.
You put it in the junk drawer.
You didn't pay it off. But what that tells me is you took the pressure off of yourself and it's now okay. because I paid it off. No, you didn't. You moved it, and you still got the problem in your mirror. This person is still not handling money. This person is still spending money like they're in Congress. They're not on a written plan. This person in the mirror is still impulsive. This person in the mirror is still not working with their spouse. They're still not thinking long term. They're still doing a bunch of other stupid stuff. And so the debt's going to grow back. And we know from the debt consolidation industry that 88% of you, that's 9 out of 10 that take out a debt consolidation loan, your debt grows back after you move it. So you end up with twice as much debt because you don't change the behaviors, habits, character issues that caused it in the first place.
Yeah, and these are all shortcuts at the end of the day, and it feels like you did something when you take a shortcut, but the problem is, like you said, you're going to be right back where you started. When people do these 401k loans or the HELOC or whatever the move is, they actually end up in the same place they were a year from now.
Yeah.
Because the same person. And you've got to transform if you want to see different results.
Yeah. And so, the same thing happens with your marriage. Okay. How many times do you know somebody, and I know people because you go through enough life, you see this, but I know people who are in a marriage and they have a certain set of behavior problems in their relationship. They get divorced and go marry a new person with the exact same set of issues, and they didn't fix their own issues. So they just do it again because they thought the problem was that person, and it wasn't. It was the issues that were not addressed, the core things that were not addressed.
You go with you.
And so, the problem is you take you with you when you do all this stuff. And me too. I'm the same thing. So the beautiful thing that happened when Sharon and I went broke was we didn't have a choice. We had to change. We didn't have any food. Electricity was cut off. We had to change. We had to address the ridiculousness of our decision-making paradigms, our ridiculous set of assumptions, our stupid intellectualizing, rationalizing ridiculous financial concepts with my intellect that absolutely caused me to lose everything because I'm an idiot. I had to face all that. I didn't have a choice.
You ran out of shortcuts.
There was everything was gone. I just left with this mirror. And I'm stuck with me. And I'm like, God, you are a problem. But the beautiful thing about something that dramatic and traumatic is you come away from it changed. You don't have a choice. When you guys are just kind of everything's okay and nothing's smacking the crap out of you to get your attention, you don't have to face it. And so our job here is to keep you from having those extreme experiences and instead letting you choose to face it rather than all your choices are taken away.
Yeah, be the preventative medicine.
That's how this whole thing works, guys. That's why this Ramsey stuff works, is we have figured out the guy in your mirror, the gal in your mirror is the problem. That's the bad news. The good news is they're the solution. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.